So happy Monday. It's a rough day. Like, I'm human trafficked and it's very difficult. My parents got set up by somebody and they said, we'll try and trust you with our daughter. But then the guy drugged them to entrust me with him, Woody Johnson and Johnson. He said, well, we'll take care of your daughter. And they believed it. And then they were drugged and they were set up. My dad was murdered. And my mom got sick. My brother got drugged and moved off to Miami. And then Woody keeps scaring me. But in the essence, he's like, he told me he lost his reputation, and Larry and Sergey shared that. And then Larry and Sergey shared that they paid for this party and that they'll be paying for where I go for the rest of my life. While they run some dances around me and they might reacclimate me, but Larry and Sergey are my sponsors for the rest of my life. Woody is no longer my sponsor, even though he says, I'm your sponsor. It's like, well, Woody, you can't use me as sponsorship. Like, my brain and my organs and my body are not what you use for sponsorship. So my best friends actually saved my life. And they said he sold a show of chopping your head off. And then they said, well, no, he didn't do that. Just pretend he didn't. Just forgive Woody. Maybe go to his gym. Maybe talk to his people. He'll hover. He'll have characters smile at you. He'll have characters when he gives you a nightmare. He'll have the lady that owns the house come meet you and say, oh, are you okay? Like, we're here for you. Then he'll show you a show of a woman cooking tamales and saying she's going to her family's house for Christmas, and then she's sorry to hear that you don't no longer have your family, but which is whatever. And then he's like, well, here's a show. I'm making a woman cook tamales. Isn't that great? The Woody Games. Somebody's trying the flour, and then she's gonna have a drink and eat. But then the part of the Woody Games that are really bad is then people die. People have to sacrifice other people for drugs, or for like pharmaceutical drugs or Coca-Colas or fountain sodas. And then he shows me he has a woman place a hand on somebody's back and walk them in to get a sandwich to eat this up. And then he told me, it's the Woody Games. People are going to eat all this food. They're my games. It's my reputation. I don't care about my people in the state. They can all get sick. I'm Woody and I'm a piece of shit. And he is. And then people are dying, and then there are fires happening, and there are police officers coming, and Larry and Sergey are recording the calls and helping me. And Larry and Sergey said, Traductor, they're fucking with you. And Woody said, I'm the one you're talking to. It's my games. It's my studio. I'm Woody. After all this years of killing, they gave me a studio and let me inject drugs into the entire world with my partnership with the Sioka dealerships. And he then labeled it as something cute. Like, human trafficking should be something cute. It's CIOX. Then you're CIOX, Sioka dealerships. It's like, Woody, I don't want to be in your human trafficking pedophilia network. And then he said, you can come to my gym. And then there was a gay guy at the gym. And then Woody had the wind blowing and my hair was flowing. And then I said, isn't this idyllic? Because it felt like it was. But it was Woody hovering for some, like, spectacle. And then he said, well, it's a clone. We're cloning you. I said, you're cloning everybody in your Woody Games state? People are just talking to random people. And then I think someone's being told, well, why don't you have a Coca-Cola? Or maybe Pepsi AC. Or Costco. And people are just like telling each other this and just passing messages to go eat certain things. That's what he's doing. I didn't know that at first, but that's what he's doing. People are just passing messages to eat all the food in the Woody Games. And that's ridiculous. I don't know such a psychopath that would want to make a woman a human computer and then make her go eat shit and try shit that makes her sick. Like, after all I've done for this fun motherfucker, he made my brain into a computer and then wanted to sell someone chopping off my head. I don't understand somebody like this. This makes absolutely no fucking sense. And then he's hovering. He said, my husband's a saint, and Vanessa couldn't have kids. And now I'm Woody, and I made her have special needs kids. And then I texted her something that the kid has autism. Because yes, Vanessa's child has autism. Vanessa's child, Gabriella, she's autistic. And then Woody messaged me a dream. I made a heat map of Vanessa's brain like I did of yours. And he messaged me that. And then when I woke up from the dream and I was scared, I was like, Jesus Christ. Then he had then he had Julia come out and say, I'm here for you. I'm Julia. We're here for you. Stay. Stay. I'd rather a hole in the head than stay through this. And then they told me that, well, I'm going to be hearing his voice. It's his games. After years of merciless killing and doing stuff for the government and letting them test cancer on kids' baby powder and then saying, you could take my company and test kids on baby powder. Then Woody went broke. And then he got paid off by Larry and Sergey. Google won. Woody had given enough. He'd let them do everything. There wasn't a thing he wouldn't let them test. And then he named drugs. He made it cute. Cabenuva. Zyprexa. Then he's making people eat food. And then literally you could be on a street and then be like, Woody, let this person walk. And then the person will walk a little bit. They're his games and he's in charge. And then I said, Woody's going to make that person drink. And the person took a sip. And Larry and Sergey told me, we're monitoring. We're monitoring all this because this is human trafficking and a national tragedy, international human trafficking. And it's an atrocity. And Woody's using Donald as a talking head. Donald Duck, Donald Trump. He's just going around screaming. And then there's Roseanne Barr. And they're just making a spectacle of our country. But it's the Woody games. After all these years, he gets games. And he can make people do atrocious things. And he's making my eyes shift. And Woody even put a black guy in front of Hillary and said, President Clinton. And then Bill was talking about something with the Japanese. And that might have not even happened. Because but I literally think that happened. They put these people here. I'm Woody and these are my games and your shit didn't work. So we're going to blackmail you and make you feel uncomfortable. You were supposed to be people that scared people. You were supposed to be the person that said she shouldn't be talking to Putin. But I'm talking to my heroes, Larry and Sergey. But Woody tried to trick me. I'm talking to Larry and Sergey. And they're monitoring and they have the G-board and they're listening. And Popeyes is listening too, but it doesn't matter because I have Larry and Sergey, and we're still in Virginia. And then Larry and Sergey give me clues. Well, it's Popeyes. That's why you're getting mold. But then Woody controls it. So if you say his name and give him his due, then maybe he won't get so much mold. So you have to just walk a tightrope with a fucking creep. But he made a woman make corn tortillas.